Okay, thank you very much. We are all welcome again to today's session, and I believe that it's going to be a great session. I'm well prepared. I'm excited to see a few people. I can see Mr. Atafen. Thank you very much for joining in. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to make your New Year resolution a reality. And so I'm going to share my screen, and then we can kickstart. Hello, and so can you hear me? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So that's great. So every year, a lot of us make a lot of resolution, and most of the times it doesn't work out. So I decided to make a research and share with us on how we can make our resolution a reality. And so I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Joshua Bonney, some call me Kwabna. I hold a Master of Art in Organizational Leadership and Governance from University of Ghana Business School. I'm the CEO of Bonney Leadership Consult. I'm so much passionate about leadership because I believe that everything rises and falls on leadership. And so I've trained quite a number of corporate leaders, and I'm committed to training and raising more competent leaders. We all can attest to what happened in our parliament house yesterday, and I believe that leaders are not supposed to behave the way our leaders behaved yesterday. And so it means that there is a need for, people who want to go into those areas, or people who want to take up leadership positions, to be trained and equipped for that role. And so the objective of this training is to help the participants, is to help you set the right goals for the year and also guide you on how you can achieve such goals. So I'd like to ask, would you like to share some bit of your New Year resolution with us? So any of you, would you like to share with us? I can see Patience, I can see Mano Atupo, I can see Linda Yak, I can see Joyce, I can see quite a number of people. Would any of you like to share with us your New Year resolution? Maybe a bit of it. You can unmute yourself and speak. Would anyone want to share a bit of their New Year resolution with us? So,
Hi.
Yeah, hi.
This Linda
Okay.
Yakabia. Yeah, I've made, most of the time we do a lot of a point for the resolution and you are not able to do anything. So this year I just made only 3 items. Yeah, just to get more closer to God. That was one. And also to get another income generating business.
Okay.
Yes. And also to beef up my business, like my job, my career. That is talks about self-development. Yes. And like anything that will let me stand out in my career job, like on my job thing. Yeah. That is the 3 things that I decided to do this year.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sharing, Linda. That was great. So as we go along, I think that this training will be very helpful to you from what you've shared. I'm sure as we go along, you'll be able to identify some loopholes in what you've shared and how you can make it better. So from research, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Hello.
We can.
Okay. So, from research, there's been, quite some number of research, and when I saw the research people have done in that regard, I was surprised. Who would like to guess the percentage of people who stay committed to their New Year resolution after 30 days? Who would like to guess? Who would like to guess? Linda, would you want to guess?
Come again.
Would you like to guess? A question on the
But I know about, let's say about 50%.
of people?
About 50% of people are able to like do it within 30 days. I think so.
About 50%, 5%
Yes.
days.
Yeah, for
Do you
the
agree to
30
this?
days.
Yes.
But as the days go by, then I know a lot of people will be dropping.
Exactly.
Out.
So
yes.
Yeah. So research says that just 25 people stays, committed to their resolution just after 30 days. Wow. And then, the percentage of people who have accomplished their New Year resolution. Who would like to guess this? The percent who accomplished their New Year resolution.
About 5%.
About 5%.
5%. Let me give a range. Between 1 to 5%.
Between 1 to 5%.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what research has. They say that studies have shown that only 8% of the people who set New Year resolutions are able to accomplish it. Only 8%. So a lot of people set resolutions within the first 30 days, just 25 people are able to go along with it. And then just 8% are able to achieve this. This calls for, a lot of questioning that what really is the problem. You understand? So today we're going to talk about okay, so sorry for the feedback. Hello, I'm sorry for the feedback. So today we're going to look at how we will be able to, solve this problem. So I'd like to ask, what do you think is the reason why people are not able to accomplish their New Year resolution? Who has any idea? What do you think? What do you think are some of the problems? Would anyone want to give a guess?
I'm here again. I think lack of commitment and persistency. Yes, we are not able to be persistent on what we have committed to do.
Wow.
We are not able to. Yes, I think that is the main reason why we fall back.
Okay. So according to research, that studies have shown that most of the New Year resolutions are broad and vague. Linda, do you agree? You were saying you draw close to God, you do, it's so broad. You understand?
Okay.
So, yeah, so research has said that, most of the resolutions are broad and they are vague. Like, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this, I want to, get more income, I want to do this, but most of those things are very huge, very broad, and it doesn't really have anything attached to it that will make you achieve it. So today we are going to talk about what we can do that will be able to set realistic goals and be able to achieve our New Year resolution. So that's why we are all here. So I'd like to share with you 3 things that will make you achieve your New Year resolution. 3 things. The first one, I believe, is purpose. The second one is long-term goals. And then the third one is short-term goals. So as we go ahead, I will explain to you, and then I believe that you understand, and then we'll be able to, come up with a very good, yearly resolutions that you'll be able to achieve more than 90%. So I have a diagram for you, depicting what I shared with you. So the purpose is in the middle, the long-term goals, and then the short-term goals. Now, purpose. What is purpose? Who would like to share? What is purpose?
Well, I think purpose is your reason for doing something.
Okay, so Rebecca thinks that purpose is your reason for doing things. So according to the Oxford Dictionary, the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists, is purpose. So I believe that, as we saw in our diagram, the center of everything we do should be our purpose. Everything should be around our purpose. Your long-term goals, your short-term goals should be around your purpose. So the Oxford Dictionary says that the reason for which something is done, created, or for which something exists. The question is, why do you exist? Why were you created? Why were you created? So you have to ask yourself these questions until you identify yourself. So I wrote here that, do you know your purpose in life? Have you been able to identify your purpose? Until you identify why you exist, you would not be able to make any meaningful impact, nor would you be able to take any good decisions. Until you know why you exist, life won't be meaningful. It's like today we are here, tomorrow we are gone. So you just take decisions anyway, anyhow. So I believe that before you can make any meaningful decision, you have to identify who you are. You have to identify why you are here. I believe that no one is a mistake. No one is on earth just because they had to be on earth, but they are on earth because of something. So until you find that one thing, until you find why you are here, I believe that you can't make any meaningful impact in life. So someone who asks, how can I identify my purpose? Like, why? How can I know why I'm on earth? How can I know my reason for being here? I'd like to share with you how you'll be able to identify your purpose. And for you to identify your purpose, you have to ask yourself these questions. You have to, you have to question yourself that what work? I always ask people this question. I've met a lot of people, and I once wrote on my status that everyone is unique. And one lady came to me and she was like, no, I don't think I'm unique. I don't think there is anything unique about me. I was like, no, it's not true. Everyone on earth is unique. That is why even, we don't have the same fingerprint. Everyone have a different fingerprint, which shows that we are all different. We all have some, specific uniqueness. So to identify your purpose, I believe there's one question you should always ask yourself. What would you want to do the rest of your life if you were not going to be paid? That is, what do you enjoy doing? What do you love to do? Some people love to teach. Whether they are paid or not, they'll do it. Some people love to do certain things. Whether they are paid or not, they will do it. That is a sign that you came to this earth because of that. The next thing is, what injustice bothers you? When I see deficiency in leadership, when I see a gap, I feel so sad. When I see the poor, because I feel that, kind of like even Ghana, I feel that if we have the right leaders. I always say that Africa and Ghana do not lack resources. Africa or Ghana do not lack, intelligent people, but what we lack is leadership. We have a lot of good people in this nation. We have a lot of, intelligent people, but there is no leader. There is no leader. And when we talk about leadership, it's a whole lot, there is no one with a great vision to inspire people to rally behind that vision. Africa can become even more than the Western world if we get a leader. Leaders like Thomas Sankara. Africa lack leaders. So what bothers you? I'm talking about myself. When I see some kind of injustice, it gets me so sad. So what kind of injustice bothers you? If you are able to identify that and you are even willing to fight that injustice, then you are called for that. The next question you should ask yourself is, what problems in society catches your attention? We are talking about purpose, how you can, live a meaningful life on earth. So what problems in society catches your attention? What problems? If you're able to identify those problems, then it means that you are getting close to your purpose. Because everyone on earth is here to solve a problem. What do you enjoy doing? What do you enjoy doing? And the last thing I'd like to share with you is to ask the Creator God. I believe that nothing exists in a vacuum. And as such, we were all created by God. So it will be better to go back to God to tell you why He created you. I don't believe anyone on earth is a mistake. No one on earth, whether your parents were intentional or whether your mom did something with someone, whatever happened, so far as you're on earth, you're not a mistake. And so until you find that purpose, so if you believe in God, then I will encourage you to go back to God and ask God that, why am I on earth? Why am I on earth? I believe that if this question is answered, then we can begin to make meaningful decisions. So as we've been able to identify our purpose, then we'll have to make long-term goals. Long-term goals. So what is long-term goals? A long-term goal is something you want to accomplish in the future. Long-term mostly is between 5 to 10 years. Long-term goals. So you identify your purpose, that this is what I want to, this is who I am. And as a result of who I am, this is what I want to achieve. In the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, in the next 50 years. It is, it is not independent of your purpose, but it is mutually connected to your purpose. So you make long-term, goals that are connected to your purpose. You make long-term plans that are connected to your purpose. And long-term goals is, something you want to accomplish in the future. And long-term goals, comprises of vision statement and mission statement. And that is not organizational vision statement and mission statement, but personal vision statement and personal mission statement. A lot of organizations have mission statement, but a lot of individuals do not have vision and mission statement, which is so bad. A lot of people do not. Someone who asks, what is a vision statement? A vision statement describes the desired future of an individual. Do you have written down that this is the future I want? Do you have it written down? So the vision statement describes the future position. You've not gotten there yet, but it's talking about, this is where I want to get to. Identifying my purpose, this is what I want to do. So let's say, I really get angry. I really get sad when I get to know that, a young lady have been raped. A young person have, something like this have happened. I get angry, and I want to help solve this problem. So as you want to help solve this problem, in the long term, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve? So that's what, So you write it down, and that will become your vision statement. Your vision statement is the desire, future that you want. And then what is a mission statement? A mission statement of an individual is how the individual plans to achieve its vision. So, the vision statement is, this is where I want to get to. The mission statement is, this is how I'm going to get there. So you see, organization says that we are the number one, whatever, through providing services and goods and services and whatever. So you ask yourself, my mission statement is, this is what I want to do. My vision statement, this is where I want to get. My mission statement is, this is how I'm going to get there. Every individual is supposed to have this if you want to add to humanity. If you want your name to be part of the great men and women that years after you have left, they'll still mention your name, that this person came and accomplished this, then you need a vision statement. You need a mission statement as an individual and not as an organization, as an individual. So after you've come up with your vision statement and your mission statement, which are long-term goals, then we come to the short-term goals. So now your yearly resolution falls within the short-term goals. Your yearly resolution. Short-term goals are things, so let's explain what short-term goals are. A short-term goal is something you want to do in the near future. And the near future can mean today, this week, this month, or even this year. Short-term goals are things you can accomplish within 1 year. So your yearly resolutions falls within your short-term goals, but you realize that it doesn't just start with the short-term goals. You need to identify your purpose. You need to come in terms with, you need to get to that place of drafting a vision statement, a mission statement, which, makes up your long-term goals. And then you come to the yearly one. So it's like the yearly one is to help you achieve the long-term one. The yearly, so within that short-term goal, you say, okay, in the long term, this is what I want to do, but this is how I'll get there. So every year, this is what I have to accomplish. You can only get committed if you know that this is working towards a long-term, plan. You understand? But if we just, I want to do this, I want to do that, there's no clear vision, there's no clear mission, then, you just do one or two, you get fed up and you give up. But if you know that, hey, I'm doing this because it's connected to this, it's connected to this, so I have to keep going. And there's something I want to achieve, then your yearly or your short-term goals will be possible. Your yearly resolution will be achievable. A short-term goal is something you want to accomplish soon. In a year, in a month. So you draft your long-term goals, you draft your short-term goals, and then even in the short term, you come up with, so that you draw a 1 year goal that, hey, in this year, this is what I want to achieve, which is connected to the long term. Every month, how can I get close to the thing I want to achieve within 1 year? How can I get close? So you have a monthly one too. And in this, so a short-term goal is a goal you can achieve in 12 months or less. How to set short-term goals. So I want to share with you how you can set short-term goals. So I will, I advise you apply SMART. If you're in the business world, you should know SMART. So what is SMART? Specific. So in your short-term goals, the first thing you should do is you should set specific goals. You realize that in the beginning, we said that, most people are not able to achieve their yearly resolutions because they are broad and vague. And so it doesn't amount to anything. But, I want to encourage you that setting your, and, it's still early for you to reorganize your yearly resolution because today is the 10th of January. We have a lot of days ahead. So specific. In your short-term goals, you have to be specific. What exactly do I want to achieve within this 12 months? What exactly do I want to achieve within this month? Specific. Then it should be measurable. It can only be measured if it's specific. So like Our Lady shared that I want to draw closer to God. That is very broad and vague. But let's say she says that I want to read the whole Bible within a year, because reading the Bible will get you close to God. So you know that, okay, this is the specific thing I want to do. I want to pray 2 hours every day. This is very specific. At the end of every month, you can ask yourself, was I able to pray 2 hours a day? You'll be able to measure. Was I able to do it? So if it's not measurable, then it's not achievable. You need specific goals. You need goals that you can measure. You need goals that are attainable. So your short-term goals should be specific, should be measurable, should be attainable. You know that this goal can be attained within 1 month. This goal can be attained within 1 year. You don't say, oh, I want to read the whole Bible within 1 day. Or I want to do this within this month or within this year. You should know that this is achievable. This is attainable. So your short-term goal should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be attainable, and then it should be realistic. And then it should be time-bound. So I will encourage you that you should look at your yearly resolution again and ask yourself, is this thing specific? Can I measure this? Can I achieve this? Is this thing realistic? And what's the time frame? Any goal that does not have any time frame is not a goal. You should have a time.
Hi, everyone.
Time frame. I'm going to achieve this within this period. I'm going to achieve this within.
Hi, everyone. I think we lost him, but he'll be joining us very soon. This is very interesting and very insightful. I'm actually at the background enjoying every bit of it, talking about being specific, goals that are measurable, goals that are attainable. I'm very sure that very soon he will come back to give us more insight about short-term goals, which are very important for us. The year has just started. Today is just the 8th, and then we have a long day ahead to make all our New Year resolutions a reality. So as we are still waiting, you can share with me some of the things that you've learned so far, and then when he joins, he continues. So I'll just be picking up on people. Don't mind if I pick up on you. So I'll start with okay, let me start with Linda. Linda, can you tell me what you've learned so far? Can you tell me what you've learned so far?
Yes, what I've learned is getting your resolution, you should start from a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
A purpose will drive you to get the other ones. That is the long term and the short term. Yes, and with the long term, like you should all the time, what I got it, whatever your goal that you set, you should break them. That's making them smart. You break them into smaller purposes so that you know that those things will drive you to attain that goal that you set. Is it yes, 6 months in a day, whichever you want to do, those things will really help you sustain it and achieve it.
Okay, thank you. I'll pick on another person. I think I'll pick on Pearl. Please, would you like to share with us what you've learned so far?
Okay, so far I've learned that we should all have a vision, and then the vision should be very specific and it shouldn't be broad and vague.
Thank you very much. Welcome back, Mr. Bonney. Please, you can continue from where you left off. Thank you.
Thank you very much for holding the fort for me, Rebecca. I don't know what was the last thing you heard. I think my internet went so.
Attainable.
Attainable. Okay. Okay. So as I was saying, hello. So okay. So did I get to time bound?
No.
Okay.
I think you said any goal without a time frame isn't a goal. Yeah, you said something of the sort.
Okay. Okay. So I think that Rebecca didn't hear that one. So thank you very much, Rebecca, for holding the fort for me. You did a great job. I'm back. So as I was saying, any goal without time, any time bound is not a goal at all. So as we set our specific goals, as I was saying, so the short-term goals are then connected to our yearly resolution. But you see that it's not supposed to be in isolation. It's supposed to be connected to something. It's supposed to be connected to our long-term goals and then our purpose. So I want to share with you some areas to consider when you are setting short-term goals. Some areas to consider when you are drawing your yearly resolution. So you look at your health. Is as I said, your health is your worth. If you have a lot of money and you don't have a good health, in the long run, you spend everything on your health, and then you'll be reduced to nothing. And so you take goals, okay, maybe I'm going to exercise 5 times. I'm going to exercise this, that in the short term. Look at education. How am I going to educate myself? It's not just formal, informal, like joining trainings like this, taking some courses, reading books. As I think John Maxwell have that saying, that the day you stop learning, you start dying. So how am I going to educate myself? Formal, informal, within a year, have a plan. Your career, how am I going to grow in my career? Do I want to be like this? What do I want to achieve? The short-term goal should have this. Family, how am I going to relate to my family? What do I have to do? Am I going to marry? Am I going to have kids? What am I going to do? So you're supposed to make plans in this regards too. And then financial, how am I going to keep my money? How am I going to increase my inflow, reduce my outflow? What is my plan for my financial life? So am I going to take more jobs, or am I going to, what would you do to make sure that you have a lot of inflows coming in? You plan towards it. And then spirituality, how am I going to grow spiritually? How, so you plan in these areas. In your short-term goals, you should have something you want to achieve in these areas. You can add up to this list. Okay, so I want to share with you we have plans. Everyone plans, but you and I know what happened in 2020 with coronavirus. A lot of visions and dreams were shattered because of coronavirus, and so you can have plans, but something can pop up, and then you might not be able to really accomplish your plan. So I want to share with you also on how you can deal with some of these disruptions. So the first thing I want to share with you is to reevaluate your short and long-term priorities. So whenever something comes up that you know that, hey, this is going to affect my plan, because how coronavirus came, it just came, poof. Now no one is supposed to go to work, stay at home, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. It doesn't mean that you have to just say, okay, because we are not doing this and that, I'm also not going to do anything. No. Reevaluate your short-term and long-term priorities. So you ask yourself, with all that is happening now, what then can I achieve? This is my long-term goal. In the short term, what can I do? Maybe I wanted to do this, but because of what is happening now, I can't do that, but I can do something else. Now, we are saying, work, even in Africa, we have that liberty that, things have gone back to normal in Africa, not really normal, but almost normal in Africa, but in some parts of the world, people are not allowed to go out. Ahead, I think is it in Germany or so, when they catch you outside, you have to pay a fine and all that. But in Ghana, it's not like that, you understand? So it doesn't mean that because they said you should stay at home, you stay at home. You stay at home, but you have to be productive. You have to work towards your long-term goal. You have to sit down and evaluate, what then can I do? Do I have to now start taking courses on Coursera? Do I have to start taking courses online? Because maybe now I can't, work on my career because maybe I can't go to where I can't do a whole lot of, but I can work, I can study, I can read books, I can do something. You understand? So whenever there is a disruption, or whenever there is something that will prevent you from achieving the already set goals, you have to reevaluate and say, hey, what can I do now? Looking at the present situation, what can I do? But if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a long-term goal, if you don't have a short-term goal, if you don't have a mission statement, a vision statement, if you don't know your purpose, you might just stay in the house and idling about. And by the time you realize, we are all shouting, it is 31st December and we want to see a new year. A lot of people would have achieved a lot, but we will still be the same. But if we are able to identify our purpose, we're able to come up with a vision statement and a mission statement, and then we have yearly short-term goals, and we keep, re-evaluating depending on how things are turning out, then we'll be able to achieve much within a short period. Then look at the disruption as a gift and be grateful. Anything that happens, don't look at it. How you view something determines what you get out of it. If you view it as a gift, then you'll be grateful, and then you'll be able to reorganize and rethink. So look at disable as enable. And coronavirus, I saw a book someone made, I think, is it 1 million Ghana cedis or so within the corona period season. I was like, wow. The person, a lot of people were shouting, this is a bad time, this is a bad time. But someone made a lot of money. And then I think she's written a book, and then she wants to share the ideas with others. So look at everything in the spectacle, so be positive. That's what I want to say. This is not working against you, but it is working for your good. A distraction as an opportunity. Yes. You cannot attest to the fact that even in Ghana, during Corona season, people were at home. A lot of people took the advantage of doing delivery services. And those people made a lot of money because they saw this as an opportunity. If you have a goal and something happens, you should reevaluate and ask yourself, with the current situation, what can I do? Limiter as a teacher, you learn from it. You learn from what is happening. So in conclusion, Margaret Thatcher says that plan your work for today and every day, then work your plan. The former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. She said, plan your work for today and every day, then work your plan. And they said the organizations plan a lot. They have a lot of strategic plans. They sit down to plan. But when it gets to the implementation, they fail. More than 70% of organizations are not able to implement their strategies. I was reading somewhere, and it was written that it takes twice of the effort of planning to implement your plan. Listen to it again. It takes twice of your effort and planning to implement your plan. So if you spent 1 hour planning, then you need 2 hours implementing what you have planned. It is not easy to work your plan. What you have on paper might not be what will happen in reality. You know, I studied economics in my first degree. I did economics and information studies. And in economics, we always say all things being equal. So when you are planning, you hold all constants equal. But in real life, all things cannot be equal. So you will plan, but in real life, a lot of things will happen. But it doesn't mean that you don't have to plan. That is why it will take extra work to, to bring into reality your plans. You will have to work as twice as the effort you used in planning. So Margaret Thatcher says that plan your work. Plan your work for today and every day, then work your plan. So the next thing is questions. So if you have any questions, you can ask.
Okay. So we have a question in the inbox. It says that my question, discipline is very important in accomplishing short-term goals because of the time element. So what pragmatically can you do to be committed and disciplined to achieve your goals?
Okay, that's a good question. You see, you have a plan, and then you wake up every day that, hey, I want to accomplish this plan. One thing that can help you to be committed is to celebrate small wins. So you ask yourself, I want to do this, but I've been able to achieve this. You celebrate it, you get excited. Wow, you can get yourself a bottle of Coke that, hey, I was able to accomplish this. You can do something to say, hey, I've been able to do this. So celebrating small wins is one way that can keep you committed. And also the next thing you can do is to always remind yourself of the reason why you want to do what you are doing. Why do I want to get close to God? Why do I want to increase my income? If you remind yourself each and every day that because of this, that is why I have to do this, I think that it will serve as a motivation to do it. So every day you have to wake up. So some people will write it on a sticky card, sticky paper. Okay, so I have to do this because of this, and paste it around their bed. When they wake up, they say, hey, I have to get to work. So I believe that reminding yourself each and every day why you have to do what you have to do, and also celebrating the little successes. You don't just say, oh, this is nothing. No, celebrate it. Get a Coke, a bottle of Coke, or put in some music and dance. Enjoy. Have fun. And then it will keep you motivated, and then you keep going.
Okay, thank you very much. There's another question. Says that, can you explain how to take actions to fulfill your plans with much emphasis from Margaret Thatcher's quote?
Okay. So from Margaret Thatcher, she says that plan your work for today and every day. To have a plan. As I mentioned, you need a yearly plan, that's the short term. You need a monthly plan, and then you can also decide, okay, maybe every day this is what I'll do to be able to achieve my monthly target. So you see what I'm trying to say, treat yourself as an organization, because in organizations we say, okay, yearly performance, we evaluate what you've done. This is what you had to do. Have you done it? Have you accomplished it? You understand? And every day you go to work to work, and everything you do is connected to your target. You understand? So Margaret Thatcher says that plan your work for today and every day, then work your plan. So this is my plan. The next question is, how can I achieve this plan? It's all planning. How can I achieve it? So after you've been able to identify that this is how I'm going to achieve it, then you work your plan. You say, this is what I want to do. That is how I'm going to do it. After getting to know what you are going to do, then you start work. You put it into action. And as you put it into action, when you achieve some small success, you celebrate. When you feel you're getting weary, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. You have to be strong in your mind. We know that a person who invented the light bulb, I was told that he was in a story building. I don't know whether more than one. And anytime he tried any one, it doesn't work. He would drop it. He would drop it until, the waste that came out of what he was doing came up to the level that he was. That tells you the number of times he tried. He was, very strong in his mind. He was very, very strong, and he worked hard. Sometimes failure, you fail on the, you don't fail until you give up. Until you give up, you are not a failure. Anytime you do something new, it is hard because you might fail, but it doesn't mean you're a failure. It means that you didn't get something right. You go back and reevaluate it. You come back and start again. But it will take a strong heart to be able to keep going. You get to it and say, this thing didn't get achieved. How can I, then you get discouraged and you think, oh, I have to give up because I can't do it. No. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve if you work hard. If you let anything distract you. If you would keep on reminding yourself each and every day why you have to do that thing. You have to keep reminding yourself every day why you have to keep going. You have to remind yourself every day why you have to stay awake. You have to remind yourself, and that will toughen you up. That will help you work your plan. And then one day you look back and you realize that you made the best choice by working your plan.
Thank you so much. Please, if you have any question, kindly unmute yourself and then ask your question. So Mr. Charles Ajimanba says, thank you very much. You can also unmute yourself and ask your question. We'll be taking some questions before we finally end this section.
Okay, I have a question. Hello?
Please, you can ask your question.
Okay, so basically, I want to ask, I've noticed procrastination is one thing that really bothers a lot of people. I just want to ask, what do you think is the first step to deal with procrastination?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. That's a good one, and it's true. I'll do it, and it doesn't get done. So it's good to strategically plan your day, plan your time. It all boils down to planning. You understand? So you plan and you ask yourself, when do I have to do this? And you should connect. You see, one thing that can make you go back doing what you have to do is you should connect it to other stuff. If I do this, then I have to do that. So when you do this, the next step. If you don't do this, you can't do that. You understand? So a lot of people, a lot of people, I will do it, and it never gets done. One, it might be that the person is not interested in what is supposed to be done. Because if you are very interested and you know that, hey, if I do this, it will help me achieve this, then you'll be willing to do it. But if the person is not really willing to do it, or he feels I'm not getting anything out of this, or so if it's a personal something, like it's something you have to achieve yourself, not that you are doing it for someone, so you try to drag your feet, but it's something you want to do for yourself, then it goes back to, why do I have to do this? And then you should always, if you have that attitude, there are some people who like to, they don't have the motivation in themselves, you understand? Always people will have to push them. Then you can get an accountability partner. You can get an accountability partner and tell the person, hey, I have to do this and this and that and that and that. Please help me do it. So the person will push you, hey, have you done this? You have to do this, you have to do that. So the person will push you to do it. Do you get it? So you can get an accountability partner and that person will help you. So, you communicate to the person, hey, I want to do this, but by myself, I might slack, I might not really do it, I might not really feel like doing it. So I want you to, help me. Then the person will check up constantly, the person will call you, the person will push you, and then you'll be able to achieve it. I don't know if I answered your question.
Okay, thank you, Abigail Opoku,
Did I answer your
for this
question?
Yes, please, you have. Yes, please. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So from Emmanuel Ateko, sorry if I didn't pronounce your name well. He says, thank you very much. From Linda Ya Kwabia, he says, I've learned a lot. Thanks so much for the opportunity. Please, if you have any other question before we end this section, kindly unmute yourself. We'll take one last question. Kindly unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, I have a question, please.
Please go on. Please go on.
Okay. Sometimes you set your goals, as we are discussing here, but to be that maybe what you want to do financially, but it's not in there. So that's when it leads to this procrastination we are talking about. It's not always, let's say, it's not always that we say, oh, we procrastinate because of it. There should be a reason why we do that. So what if the finances are not there to go up with what you want to do? What do you do?
I don't know if someone heard the question. I didn't hear well.
Okay. Okay, I was like, even we are setting goals here, but we have a short-term goal and a long-term goal. And then I have a goal that I want to fulfill something before the year ends. And then the finances is not there to help in order to do this. In such a way, how do I go about it?
I don't know if someone heard it well. The person can.
Okay, so I heard her.
Okay.
She says that sometimes you want to really do something, but then the finances are not really there like that. So it makes it difficult for you to be able to accomplish whatever you aim to do. And for that matter, that brings procrastination. So she wants to know, how do you go about such a thing?
Wow, that's a good question. That's a good question. Finances, in our part of the world, getting money to do anything is tough. And that's the reality. But I always tell people, are you the owner of, let me tell you what I was going to do. He fries bread and egg. Those who are not in Ghana, I don't know how to say it, but you go to close by someone who's frying egg and bread and you toast and all that. So I was engaging him. I was like, hey, is this what you do? Where's your mom and all that? And he's like, his mom is home. And I asked him, why are you not in school? He's like, there's no money. So I was like, oh no, you can't give that as an excuse. And I probed further. I was like, oh, in Maths, I had D7, there's D7. I was like, hey, we write and go back to school. I know a lot of people who were schooling and were still working. They work extra hard. They'll work at night and go to school in the day, but they've made it today. So sometimes we give excuses, but I believe that, I'm not saying that it's not tough getting money to do some things, but I believe that it all starts with a plan. You start from where you are. You start with a plan. What do I want to achieve? How can I start small? Who can I talk to? What can I do? Maybe if it's schooling, maybe I'll plan. Maybe I can't go to school now, but I'm planning, okay, in the next 2 years, I can do some work, gather some small money, and then start schooling, work aside. What can I do? When you read the good books, the Bible, when God met Moses, he asked him, what do you have in your hand? So I always believe that you always start from where you are. So I told him that it's not an excuse to say that there is no money, so you can't go to school. No, don't limit yourself. So if until you open up, people used to say, think outside the box. And then Professor Lumumba says that think without the box. So I will say to you that get it out of your mind that there is no money. I don't really believe in that, that there is no money, so I'll not do this. No. Where can I start from? Where can I start from? And if you make up your mind that, okay, I have this, I have that, and I'm going to start from here, it will shock you how the resources will come in. But until you start, no one will be willing to commit resources to you because they don't know whether it's workable or not. So whatever you have, always start. Start from where you are. Start little. Ask yourself, I have a big vision. I have something big I want to achieve, but I don't have the resources. What can I do now? The answer shouldn't be nothing. You can do something. And I believe that if you start small, if you start doing what you can do, then people will see that, yeah, okay, I think this is workable, and so will be willing to commit their resources. So I don't think that financial, issues or any other issues, if we want to give excuses, we'll find 1,000 of it as to why we don't have to do something. And we can also find a reason why we have to do something. So I think that, financial, issues shouldn't bother you or shouldn't prevent you from achieving your goals. I don't know if you answered your question.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so happy. I've learned a lot. We have to think outside the box. Our time is fast spent. Patience says that thank you very much. I appreciate it. My question is answered. So someone also asked whether they can get the recordings. Yes, it is going to be sent to you, your emails, and then you can rewatch it. So on this note, we are 3 minutes behind our time. We'll do this exactly 1 hour. So just imagine having this every month. It's going to be very fun and it's going to be very insightful. So on this note, we will end this section, but you can follow us, Bonney Leadership Consult, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. You can also go to our website and then follow us there. And then you can also subscribe to our channel as well to get, and then also tap the notification box so that you can get notification on anything that we are doing as a team. Okay, so without much ado, I want to thank Mr. Bonney for this opportunity for us to learn. We've learned a lot. We've learned short-term goals. We've learned long-term goals. I must say I've learned a lot. Abigail Poku says I've learned so much. Thanks. Thank you so much. So without much ado, I want us to end this section. If you have no other question, we'll end this section here. Thank you and see you in our subsequent training. We have another training coming up soon in February. The details will be posted on LinkedIn and YouTube. Thank you very much. So, bye.